Okay, brilliant. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to, sadly, the final PPF football show of this year. It's been quite fun. I hope you have all enjoyed listening to my rants about, or my little stories about all these different football things that are happening all over the world. And yeah, it's been really enjoyable. I'd probably say this is going to be the last ever episode of this show, but I just want to thank everybody for the support and the consistent amount of people watching every single week. And yeah, I just want to thank you for that. And I'll be back with something bigger and better next year. So keep an eye out for that. So I guess the final episode, we're going to be talking about some successes, right? And I guess the big success that when we think of world football and dominating clubs, one of the first clubs that will come to your mind is Bayern Munich. And basically, this episode is going to be talking about why Bayern Munich are so good and how basically that's all, pretty much all of it, is accredited down to one man, Uli Hoeneß, who is the current, what do you call it? Yeah, CEO, basically, or the head of Bayern Munich. And he's stepping down at the end of this year. So I just wanted to pay tribute to all the actions that he's done throughout his time as president of Bayern Munich. So I guess we have to so with the story, I guess we have to rewind back to the 70s, because Bayern, they were 5 years without a title and they were struggling with a lot of debt. So the hierarchy at Bayern Munich at the time decided to bring in Uli Hoeneß, a former player of theirs, to try and restructure the club. And Hoeneß realized that in order for Bayern to dominate again, they needed to increase their revenue streams. So at the time, matchday revenue was approximately 85% of their income. And now if you compare that to now, it's only 14%. And one of the first things that Hoeneß did was like merchandising. So the fact that you could buy things such as toasters, pajamas, bed sheets, etc., etc., and basically that boosted Bayern's revenue by a massive amount of money. And the second thing that he did was to do with the stadium that Bayern were in at the time. So Bayern were usually played in the Olympic Stadium in Munich, and it was built for the 1972 Olympics, hence the name Olympic Stadium. And it could host up to 60,000 people. And then they did loads of stuff with that, and then because they were so successful, they usually filled out the stadium. But then when it came to around 2006, and the World Cup was being hosted in Germany, and Hoeneß decided that would be a great idea to build a new stadium for Bayern Munich. And this stadium, as some of you might know, or I'd say all of you know, it was the Allianz Stadium. And this had a capacity of 75,000 spectators. And as a result of all these reforms, Bayern has paid all of its debt and owns the Allianz, which meaning so it doesn't have to pay any rent to anyone or any council, and it basically keeps all the profits for itself, which obviously helps. So it can pay for new players and obviously just make a lot more money than other clubs in Germany. But what really makes Bayern different is their shareholder model. And I'm not sure if a lot of people know this, but there's the 50+1 rule in Germany, where at least 50% of the club has to be owned by the fans. And they've taken it to the extreme in Bayern, where it can be only it's capped at 30%. And at the minute, there's three main investors have a split of 25% of the ownership of Bayern Munich. And these brands are Allianz, the insurance group, Adidas, and Audi. And there's still a remaining 5% left to sell, presumably to another German company. Hence, because the other three companies that I just mentioned were German. And this unique shareholder model, which I guess is unique to Germany, well, not really unique to Germany, but certainly Bayern are of advantage with this model because it means that they're independent from shareholders. Because the shareholders don't hold like a minority stake, so they don't necessarily need to listen to what they have to say, and they receive a large portion of the profit. The club itself receives a large portion of the profits, which is reinvested back into the club, which is used to buy players, and which is used to buy players such as pretty much anyone in the Bundesliga who's decent, and also to reinvest back into the youth academy, so they can be more self-reliant in the future. And another kind of thing, I guess, is their transfer strategy. So they only buy players they can afford without going into debt, and they do not depend on one player, much the same as unlike the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid in the past. These clubs have gone into extortionate debt in Real Madrid's case, in both clubs' cases. And then in Barcelona's case, they're depending literally on one player for, everything they do, which is messy. And I guess Bayern Munich don't really hand power over to the players as much. So they don't bow to their demands, say. And an example of this is David Alaba. And the club remained firm that they wouldn't give him a massive pay increase. So as a result, he's ended up going to Real Madrid on a free, and he's on a lot of money. And pretty much that's the impact that Hoeneß has had. And now that he's stepping down, Bayern Munich are aiming to become not just a leader within Germany, but a completely global brand. And they've started to invest into Asia, particularly with their esports team. So an example of that would be with their esports team, you'd see many esports teams are in FIFA, but Bayern Munich's team is exclusively with PES, which is probably to deal with the Asian market in particular. And Bayern Munich also has a lot of academies all over Asia, hopefully because if they produce a player, they'll be able to boost their appeal within Asia. And of course, that's how they're going to be a global brand as well as winning stuff. And Herbert Hainer is their new CEO, and he was formerly of Adidas, and he led them for a good few years. And Oliver Kahn is the new chairman. And as I said, it's going to be much the same as before. And basically, because of Hoeneß, the likes of Herbert Hainer and Oliver Kahn are able to build on that. And hopefully for them, they'll be able to make Bayern Munich into a global empire, which arguably they are already. But, in terms of a global brand that is recognized by everyone and known by everyone. So, yeah, that's the story of why Bayern Munich are so good. I hope you enjoyed it. And I appreciate everyone watching my episodes every single Friday. And I hope everyone has a good exam season, because I know that's coming up for a lot of us. And even if you're not, I just hope you have a good week and even a good summer. Hopefully COVID won't restrict us that much. And I will see you maybe with a new format next year. And I just want to thank everyone on Mars FM for being so supportive and being very helpful and getting through a very tough time. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's pretty much it. This is Paul Zaki signing out. And thank you very much, everyone. Goodbye.